Alright, this is Angela with Infectious Magazine here at Saving Abel. How are you guys?
Infectious Magazine rocks! Woo!
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Jared, I play bass. That's Eric, he's the lead singer. No. I'm Jared, I sing.
What? I'm Eric and I play bass.
Now, you guys said that you grew up in a really small town, and as you put it, it was the Bible Belt almost. So do you think that...
It's the buckle.
Yeah, it's the buckle of
Right
the Bible Belt.
Our city has more churches per square or block or whatever than any city in.
You can walk down Main Street, you'll have like Baptist, Pentecostal, Seventh-day Adventist, Catholic, and you're like, I don't even know what to choose. Anyways, yeah, we grew up in a small town. It's like 14,500 people now, so I don't know how many it was back then. It was definitely in the Bible Belt, man. You either did drugs or Jesus, and I did both. That's allowed.
So do you think that being in such a small town that had an influence on your music at all?
Absolutely. I think we grew up in a great part of the country, 44 miles north of Tupelo, Mississippi, what we consider the birthplace of rock and roll itself, Elvis Presley. We grew up 88 miles east or west? East of Memphis. So, we got to grow up, with all the, the good influences, Elvis, Leonard Skinner. I mean, we all had our phases. But I think it really, it hit a note with us, especially writing in a small town. You get that yearning, where you want to leave. You got to leave. There's something bigger out there. And I think it had a lot to do with, how we played, what we sang about, So basically we wrote all our music sitting on the front porch, drinking beer, playing the acoustic. And, I love the way it turned out because it's true Southern pride, you know what I'm saying? Like that you can play on the radio.
I feel like I'm leaving you out over here.
I don't think I can add to that.
I mean, that was pretty much answered every angle. I'll say the next one.
What are some of the challenges of constantly touring as much as you do?
You miss home. I mean, you're gone months at a time from home. We all have families and children and stuff. And it wears you out, but I mean, you get to meet a lot of people. You get to see the world, so it,
Yeah, it's definitely, family's one of the things to me, we get to, well, we don't get to, but every 5 or 6 weeks, if I don't get to see my little girl, she's 15 months old, and if I don't get to see Coda, these guys are nice enough to let me fly them out. But it's just like you said, you get to see everywhere. I've had my daughter in Vegas twice, Seattle, Portland, LA, California, everywhere. She won't remember any of it though. But that's one of the main things for us. It's kind of hard being gone for so long, because even though we're out there in the world, you get kind of disconnected from everything else. So one of the great privileges of the job, though, man, we've seen so many great things.
As I've heard, this is my first time seeing you live, but I've heard that you do phenomenal live shows. So are there any pre-show, I don't want to say rituals, but anything you go through to sort of...
Well, you saw me earlier. I was in here riding my bike. I like to do that a lot. It's good to get hobbies while you're out here, You just end up laying in your bunk all day like a dead person in a coffin.
We're not really a ritual band. We all kind of hang out and have a couple drinks.
There's always usually loud music and alcohol involved within an hour of the show. We're usually somewhere,
We're
trying
all
to get
hanging out, listening to Foo Fighters or something.
Foo Fighters' new album is awesome.
So,
You guys had set up your own, sort of send your own message to the troops section on your website. How was the response to that?
Well, Eric does a lot of them.
it's still kind of new, so it's actually the first I heard about it. But we knew we were doing it, so I didn't know it was actually started. But it's hopefully good every time we do something with the military. It's a great response. So.
Yeah, we get asked a lot, what influences you guys to support the troops? Why is it the war? Is it this? Is it this fact? And plain and simple, we just tell them, it's Saving Abel likes to, share it with everyone that it's our, own responsibility as citizens of this great country. Like, even if you don't know anyone, you know someone that knows someone that knows someone. Just walk up and say thank you. I mean, that's the least you can do. Like, we've all worked our 9-to-5 jobs where nobody says thank you. I worked at Walmart for 5 years. I was a phlebotomist for 5 years. You know what that is? I used to draw blood.
Yeah, you're the person everyone hates.
Exactly. And nobody thanks you for that job. So I can't imagine, what it's like, being over there, being away from your friends, your family, your home, and you're fighting for something that you might necessarily not be believing in, but you're not going to sit down and take, like a little girl. You're going to stand up for your country and you're going to do what you need to do, and that's what I love about this country, man. Osama bin Laden, #1. Thanks, doll. Done. Cheers, America. Go USA.
Team America. Fuck yeah.
America!
You guys have obviously encountered a lot of fans, so what would be one of the most touching fan experiences you've had?
Mine involved tears, man. We went to Iraq and we went to Kuwait and Camp Spiker, Camp Al-Udeid, all these places. Saddam Hussein had his hilarious setup. And we got to sleep in the general's headquarters. I mean, these guys treated us so nice when we were over there with the USO. I had one guy, during the show, we would all kind of walk around, and I was kind of like Bob Barker on Wheel of Fortune. I'd walk up and I'm like, hi, how are you? What's your name? Where are you from? And they would tell us their name, where they're from. I was like, name one thing you miss most about America. And other than beer, alcohol and porn, whatever. They don't have porn over there either. I feel so sorry for these guys. But other than that, pretty much, I looked at this one guy and I asked him the question. And he almost cried when he said it, but he's in front of all his comrades, so you got to man up. But he said, I miss my daughter. He said, I miss my family. I miss my home. And I was just recently a father. A month into that. So I'd only been a dad like a month and a half. And for once in my life, I kind of knew what he was talking about, being so far away and just so far out of reach from the ones you love. And it hit home for me. It kind of resonated with me, and I'll never forget that guy, man. What do you think, Eric? What are your most touching?
Just being over in Iraq, just thinking like we were there for a week. It was next to the last day, like we hadn't slept, we were worn out, but we started
coughing up dust and sand.
We keep thinking of this. These people do this for a year solid. It's like we're complaining after 3 days. But the last night there, just getting to hang out and talk, and realize like, wow, I really need to go to bed. We got to fly out in the morning. We got a show tomorrow night. But just hanging out and talking, and showing pictures of kids and stuff. That was really the most touching.
It really makes
probably.
You appreciate, what they do, and because we're not comparing our jobs at all, but we stay disconnected away from our family and our friends. Thank God for Skype, but for long periods of time, and it gets weird, man. It gets really weird. So, once again, go USA, man. We love you guys.
Last year you were touring with Nickelback, and you were saying how much you wanted to be headlining or touring. And you're sort of in that element now where you're starting to do that. So it's been such a short period of time. How does it feel to have come so far?
First of all, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a great sense of accomplishment, but there's always, there's always the pros and cons, of course. It's hard to sell rock and roll albums, if you're not Nickelback. I mean, Chad Kroger's got a formula that's just so explosive, man, and it's great. It's just hard to get the people that work their 9-to-5 jobs to spend money and come out. I mean, the economy right now is crazy. I saw a bumper sticker the other day that actually said, and I'm not pro-Bush, against Bush or anything, but this just said, it said when Bush was president, gas was $1.46, which is true, towards the beginning of his presidency. But anyways, what were we talking about? No, it's great to be a headlining band now. I mean, it's a sense of accomplishment, a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, blood, and tears has gone into this, It's not just sitting anywhere anymore, We've got the people running the websites and people doing the interviews and people setting up the stage, that work day in and day out, and it feels good to be able to kind of have a sense of, comfort there, saying, we got your back, we're doing great, we're doing good. We still got bills to pay, though, so it's good to get out. But it's festival season now, and it's one of the greatest things, because that's where all the people are here now.
That's true. I saw an interview with an author who said that she had been listening to your band, and it had inspired one of her characters' names and these elements in her books. So.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have to Google that, man. That's kind of cool.
It was a paranormal book. I forgot what it was called, but so I want to know. You know that you influence a lot of your fans, but how does it feel to be influencing, other professionals?
Well, I've never really thought of it that way. It's kind of cool though, man, to think that someone, could have a little bit, so much inspiration from something that you never thought possible. I could have been sitting, whatever she used as inspiration could have just been one of those songs where, me and Eric were sitting right here, before an interview, and just kind of writing, and it just come out of nowhere. And how something like that, as small as that, can influence somebody in such a big way that they can write characters about it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And all this is art. Even writing
is art.
books or playing music or drawing. It's all art, and you feed off each other. So that's pretty cool to hear that.
I think
now that's an art.
Do you know the name? Do you know the name of the book?
It was paranormal something.
Well, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after these messages.
And then just a few silly questions. What is your most embarrassing moment? Doesn't have to be on tour, just ever in life.
I'll tell you an embarrassing moment for me. Rockford, Illinois, Wingding Festival, was it?
That was
08, 09? That's yours too? Man, I'm not a real big drinker, really. I used to be. I'm not anymore, but we ended up, we were touring in a van at this time. It was the very beginning of our career, you know. We were excited that we were going up to a festival, Wingding Festival in Illinois, was it? You know, we were getting to play with like sick puppies and drowning pools. I mean, it was like a field day for me, you know. I was super excited. But, you know, we get there kind of early in the morning, 10, 11. We don't play till like 3 or 4. You get bored sometimes, you know. And I kind of just grabbed a hold of, was it a fifth of Patron or, yeah. I ended up drinking a fifth of Patron in like an hour, not a whole fifth, I died. I think I got down near close to alcohol poisoning. Anyways, we get on stage. I don't even know where I am. I just start screaming and yelling like I'm in some goddamn metal band for 18 days. I mean, how weird is that? I mean, the band is literally walking. We got kicked off the stage because I was cussing so much. Totally embarrassing moments, like being de-pantsed in front of a little Catholic church or something. Really weird. But yeah, that was kind of weird for me. It was kind of awkward though, because we sold more merch that day than we had at any point on the tour at that point in our career. Kind of weird. But lesson learned, I never drink before I go on there. Tell something else that's embarrassing.
Wow.
Oh, that was the big one, man. I never forget that day. I ended up falling face first out of the van. I almost hit my head. Tequila, some bitch.
Ditto.
A few words. And then, what's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure. Oh Lord. Let's see, what is my guilty pleasure?
Violin.
All right. This is you play violin, upright bass. This is kind of a little kiddie thing for me. Like, you know, my daughter, she's 15 months, and every morning, you know, that I'm home, we have the same ritual. We get to get up, we watch Yo Gabba Gabba, we watch Fresh Beat Band, we watch not Dora. Olivia, the little pig girl. Anyways, sometimes when I call this a guilty pleasure, but sometimes when I get a little lonely out on the road and nobody's watching, I'll turn it real quick to Yo Gabba Gabba or Fresh Beat Band, and I'll sit there and I'll think about my daughter and get connected a little bit. But I don't know if that's really a guilty pleasure. But the fact is, I kind of like the shows, man. The Fresh Beat Band's got some great songs. I'd love to tour with them. I don't know. What else is my guilty pleasure? I don't really know, man. I tried to make that all daddy Swedish kind of like.
So it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad.
What
about you, man?
I'm real big into like, I'm a big network whore. I'm always on Facebook doing like Angry Birds and stuff. So it's a lot of boring time. Like I was playing Angry Birds on stage last night. So
I was wondering if that's that song though. Didn't you say you've been stuck on a level for like 3 weeks?
I beat it.
You finally get it. High five.
Down on stage about 8 o'clock this morning.
And then lastly, just what's in the future for you guys?
What's in the future for Saving Abel? Actually, like I said earlier, it's festival season, so we're going to be doing a lot of the festivals this year. You know, Rocklahoma, Rock on the Range, what's one in Kansas City? Rock Fest? Yes. Anyways, we love doing the festival shows. There's always a shitload of people there, and you know, they're always drunk and ready to rock and roll. I met Ron Jeremy's 2 years in a row at Rock on the Range. If you guys don't know who that is, Google the name, Ron Jeremy's. You have to be 18 or older, but check it out. Anyways, what else is in the future? June 20th through the 27th, we're going to Guantanamo Bay. I think it'd be kind of cool to be one of the few American bands that have been in Cuba and actually played. One of the other bands, one of my favorite, Audio Slave. Remember that? That was a cool meet. I think we're going to Guantanamo Bay. We're going to be doing that show. What else is going on here?
Well, we know we're eventually got another album that's going to be coming out, so
we're going to take some time off.
Take some time off, do some writing.
October, November.
Try to see what we can come up with, start working on a new album. You know,
play some more rock and roll.
1 or 2 years.
It's gonna be great, man. We're excited. We're to the point now in our career where everything's not so chaotic. We kind of take a little chill break and relax. Say it's all good. We're gonna get it done. And that's one of the things, about the last album we wrote while we were on the road. Like we had a couple of days off and fly to the studio, record, fly back out and do shows. It's kind of hard to get the vibe going there, but we're gonna take our time this time. We're gonna do some soul searching, and we're gonna bring out some rock and roll, some southern rock and roll, man, at its best.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having us.